Okay, welcome to Durham Farm. Today we are doing the Treehouse Trail, and this is the trailhead. And I built this bridge many years ago, then had to come back and put some extra support under it. It gives us access to all the bird feeders and a couple squirrel feeders. We feed the birds in the middle of winter. Now we're starting on to the Treehouse Trail, which also the ridge trail follows up the property line, but we're not going to be doing that today. We're doing the Treehouse Trail. Now, years ago, I liked going out, enjoying the winter sun. If you find a place where the wind don't hit, but the sun does shine, then you created a hot spot. And you stretch out on the bench. You even got a wooden pillow. But the purpose of that is to lay in the sun in the wintertime, when the wind don't blow, get you out of the house, and you fight that being trapped indoors all the time. And there we have a burrow on a tree. Now that was probably caused by a fence decades ago, many decades ago. And the autumn olive has really started to take over everywhere. Now I kept this trail pretty well maintained for the longest time. I had a tree fall, and it fell directly down on the metal fence post, and actually crushed the post underneath. I couldn't fall left or right, but once upon a time, I had 26 acres fenced in, right on top of it, and 4 strands of barbed wire. And with one strand had electric on it. I had 22 head of Nubian goats and 11 sheep. The goats took care of the brush, and the sheep took care of the bottomland, grassland. Now, deer tracks and deer poop. This is the deer bypass trail. The deer would go that way, but we're gonna go up. The deer bypass trail is what the deer used to get around the farm to avoid my dogs. And that's how it got the name Deer Bypass. The deer were bypassing the home place. Now, a lot of fences have fallen in disrepair. I had to get rid of the goats. We had an influx of coyote, and a lot of the goats were killed by coyotes, and I lost about 3 sheep to predators. a big massive tree that fell across the fence. Well, that's a big one. Fairly cool out today. We're in the 40s. Now look at the deer. They made a separate game trail down here around that log. I'm gonna stay back on the original. It's not being used. And this dead tree finally fell. It was standing there for a long time. A lot of the trees, the red oak and the black oak, have taken the blight and they're dying out. So the white oak so far don't seem to be affected by it. Several of those that you see dead, standing, those are, I think, red oak or black oak, I'm not sure which. And behind it, red oak, there's a white oak. It's doing pretty good. Now, right here, another dividing point. You would take the, go up the ridge there, following the property line on the ridge trail, all the way to the upper campsite. But we're going to do the Treehouse trail in that direction. Years ago, I had a bulldozer built me a road all the way out to here. And right here's where it stopped at. And I could literally drive a truck all the way up to right here and out to there. Which I've not done in quite a while because the truck got old, and not all of the type of person who spend tens of thousands of dollars for a new truck. One of my old campsites from 25 years ago. Even if I could afford a truck, which I can, but I won't, because it's insane. The price of a truck now. Old buck rub, close to a new buck rub. Now I did come up here and cleaned this all out last year. There were a lot of logs across the trail. And then if you keep on going up the ridge trail that way to the upper campsite, there's some good squirrel hunting along that route. And then, which I quit deer hunting decades ago. There's a lot of deer sign on that ridge. So we had the Treehouse Trail, Deer Bypass Trail, and the ridge trail all the way up to the upper campsite. Then we had a connecting trail. The connecting trail would drop us down to the, it's called the Salt Lake Trail. It takes us down to the Deer Bypass Trail, which comes down to the Salt Lake. And then right here is the Salt Lake Trail. Down that way. And this trail takes you down to the new platform stand. You can barely make it out among the trees, the new platform stand. And right underneath it is the Salt Lake. We're not going that way today. Today we're doing the Treehouse Trail. Now, I built all this because I am an outdoorsman, and I do hunt for a tree stand. When I did hunt 30 years ago, as I got older, I got fancy. I'm a handyman with working carpentry, plumbing, electrical, sheet metal, welding, air conditioning, refrigeration. I am a jack of all trades. I do pretty much anything I want to do, except automobile mechanic. An automobile mechanic is worth his weight in gold. I don't touch an automobile or a gasoline engine. But I can build a house, barn, buildings, wire up solar panels, build cabinets. Ooh, we got a tree down here across our Treehouse Trail. This is since last fall. This is the last time I was up here with a chainsaw. I'll come back on this one. And we are headed to the old platform stand. There's another dead red or black oak. Water blot's hitting them. Just taking them all out. So like I said, in the old days I had a four-wheel drive to come up here. Now I don't own a ATV or side-by-side. I'm even hiking it. I'm a hiker and a backpacker. I don't believe in taking the easy way out. So now that I'm getting into my late 60s, I can understand now why people would want a side-by-side. We got some turkey sign scratching. The ground's uncovered. It's turkey. The ground's ruffled up. That's deer scratching. Now, once upon a time, I had a tank sitting there, a trough. I can catch water out of the hills. And I have a water source right here. We still have a little bit from the latest storms. There's your water supply, but that don't last much longer in the summertime. Now, this coming up is the middle campground. A lot more turkey sign right through here. Yeah, still got my ice cream up here. It's been years since we camped out up here. And that's a 16-foot high platform stand. And here's our fire pit. We keep the rods hanging for pot from. An outdoor table, one seat, 2-seat. And our stainless steel grate we use to barbecue on, cook on. But here's where we're going to. Now, when I built this, it's not my intention to harm a living tree. There are no nails nailed into this tree. And there's pads to keep from getting too. So it goes up through the middle of it and surrounds it, but the tree is independent. Now, the platform stand's been here, 16 years now, and it's showing its age. And it's 6 foot by 8 foot. A metal roof on it. See how it's walled out around the tree, some way down the bottom. And nice couple of rocking chairs. I used to old mining belt for the flooring and wire cable around, so when you're sleeping up here in the wintertime, I'm sorry, in the summertime, no danger of rolling off the platform. I've got a campsite from above. Now, we don't believe in hunting over a bait station, but we did have a feeder station over there once upon a time on the road, just to bring in the wildlife so we can watch the wildlife and picture it. If you'll notice, the dogwood is in bloom, and we are right now in the middle of dogwood winter. We've already had redbud winter, and the redbud's still in bloom, some of it. But the cool spill we're having today is the dogwood. Yeah. So the platform stand, you come up here and you sit around, you and your buddy, you wrap up in a blanket. Now I could put walls around this, but I didn't want to be that closed in. And I like the openness of it. We had flat spot right there for a tent right there, and a tent over there, and a few more tents over here on this other side. This is where me and my 3 brothers would come and camp about 15 years ago. Anyway, my favorite word anyway. The stairs need replacing. That's on my to-do list. That's our old campsite. I've seen a lot of deer. I've taken a lot of pictures of deer from that site. So, we're going back down the road that I cleared out last summer. I still bring the tractor up here, put it in low gear, 4-wheel drive, and back up the mountain because I want to be able to start sliding backwards. You want to be able to go down forward. And I see I've got another log across the road since last summer. Look how dead that tree is. There's a lot of that here now. That's white oak. I had a tree standing in it once upon a time. And that's back in the days when I used hammer and nails. I regretted that. Scrap number fell loose. And then I realized it was too dangerous to climb up that tree without safety belts on. So that became a thing of the past. Now, There's the road. It goes on up the mountain to the upper campsite. As you see, I no longer maintain that, and the upper campsite has fallen into disuse. Okay. Now we're on the other side of the property line. I did work on some fencing there for a while. That became a non-project because couldn't pack stuff up the mountain. So this is the road we actually drive the tractor up backwards. And you see the bottom down there. The driveway. There's the roof of the barn. We're not down to the pond yet. It's turkey season right now, and we have turkey hunters around. I've yet to hear the first gobbling of the year 2025 season. Though I have seen one hen. I don't turkey hunt. I'm half deaf and deaf in my left ear. So you have to be able to tell direction. If you hear turkey gobbling, what direction is it coming from? If you hear turkey gobbling a second time, is it getting closer or further away? And usually in the old days when I did turkey hunt, I'd be facing the wrong way, or the turkey was a lot closer than I thought it was. Can't hear well enough turkey hunt. I hunt by sight. We've got a lot of heavy rains, and all this is washed off. Did a lot of clearing it out on the right, left, and right, overhanging brush. And there, we're coming up on the pond. There's one of these. Now the southern pine tree was killed out by the southern pine beetle. And I had about a dozen of these. This is one of the small ones. They were, up to anywhere from 16 to 24 inches in diameter. And southern pine beetle killed them. And then the ash tree with the ash borer worm killed out all the ash trees. When the Forest Service people say you come to the state parks, to the campsites, don't bring any firewood with you. But what you're doing is you're bringing those blights and those infestations with you. If you do bring firewood, burn it all. Don't leave any. It's pretty steep out through here. And now we're back into the bottom. We're down at the pond. And that's the end of the Treehouse trail. And there's my old canoe. And there's the pond. So, have a nice day.